Hello everyone and welcome to episode 16 of the Infinity and Beyond Webcast presented by Vinimation Kingdom. It's Roger here from the United Kingdom, and over there in sunny California we have Abe.
How's it going, everybody?
Alright. Okay, so on this week's show we have lots of little bits and pieces of news, nothing too groundbreaking so far. We have some details on an originals folder for Power Discs, a digital version for iOS, 2 exclusive digital characters, and a few other little bits, some Black Friday information, and we are going to discuss in some depth the Guardians of the Galaxy playset. Finally. It's taken us a few weeks to get through it, but that was all of this week. So there we go. So that is all of this week's scheduled bits and pieces. So let's just kick straight off with some of the news. Okay, so the first bit of news we had this week we had a report come through from an advert from Target that there's going to be a Disney Originals Power Disc folder which holds 40 Power Discs and includes 5 bonus Toy Box games. Sorry, not Toy Box games, Toy Box discs. So it looks like we've got The Lion King, Terrain and Skydome, King Louie. We've also got Hero's Duty Gun and Aladdin. So it's quite interesting. It's only says 40 Power Discs, but we know we've got 44 Disney Infinity 2.0 Power Discs. Did you see this one, Abe?
Yeah, I did. It looks like the exclusive album that Toys R Us had for PDP, except, yeah, it's the original side and it's only 40. I kind of wanted to tap into how everybody keeps saying there's 44 discs, but then again, I only think there's going to be only 42. Reason I say that is there's been a lot of confusion with the 2 extra Big Hero 6 discs.
No, I'm talking. So you got the 2 Aladdin discs, and then we got the 2 Tron discs.
Exactly, but that's my point.
The 2 Big Hero discs that have been floating around, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, that was my point, because those aren't actual discs. I'm assuming Tron's gonna be all DLC, so I don't think those power discs are gonna come to fruition. No. I think it's gonna be changed in the patch. This is my thought.
Yeah, I must admit there was that kind of thing of, if they decided that they didn't want those power discs out. I think they're going to be power discs. I don't think they're going to be able to resist the temptation to pop out some extra power discs. They've already done it with Aladdin, so they've already sort of set the tone.
But well, let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens on that one. But yeah, 40.
But as far as the folder, though, yeah, I think they are shorting themselves with just doing 40. Though it's kind of weird.
The only thing I did wonder is whether or not this is, maybe if they send out a version for other retailers without those 5 power discs on, maybe it's who knows. It seems a bit strange that only one retailer's got them.
Yeah, and also aside from that, I've ever since they released that portfolio with the little pockets, the disc folio as I call it, I don't want any. I'm not interested in anything else. No. That one's so versatile, and you can always have an extra sheet, and you can actually accommodate to those other 4 discs.
Yeah, because I think they did sort of seem to be. It might have been a bit of a rushed job to get it out. It does seem a bit of a disappointment that they didn't come out with any originals sort of accessories to come with it. A nice new power disc capsule. I mean, it makes it. But at the same time, I can see that they maybe thought that they didn't need to do the power disc capsules since last year's ones. They've already done like 6-7 colors. Bars sort of slapping Donald Duck on it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I must admit, had they brought out a new Disney Originals power disc like capsule, I would have picked one up. But it's not. I wouldn't say it was essential. I know the folder. I think there's a lot of people that love the folders, and I think that's what they sort of started buying them, and then they stopped, and then they people sort of they either want them or they don't. I think it's a bit of all this messiness of having one folder for this series but not having one for that one.
Yeah, accessories have not been consistent so far, so that's something that they need to work on.
No, so hopefully we might see some more accessories, but yeah, so we'll keep an eye out for that. It's quite interesting that they've put the Lion King Terrain and Skydome in on that pack, so if you haven't got them, that might be a good way of getting hold of those power discs, since any of those terrains and Skydomes aren't the easiest things to get hold of.
Yeah, they're really difficult to get. So yeah, definitely. If that's all you want, then I guess this is definitely worth picking up.
Yeah. We also had some information from the from an event which took place. It was a mobile product showcase press event at Walt Disney Studios, where Matthew from TechCrunch.com put out some tweets, and I'm just going to bring out some images here. It's quite interesting that they were sort of pushing off on sort of how successful the iPad version has been. We've got it's the most popular platform. Over 7 million downloads were done on the iPad, which was half the amount that were created of the 14 million downloaded. This is for 1.0. There was 350,000 Toybox uploads from the iPad alone, and the daily iPad users were larger than any other platform combined. And so that was just for 1.0, which shows you how seriously they take it. If there's more people playing on the iPad version than on all the other consoles combined, that shows you how popular it is.
Well, it's also the way, the whole world has changed as far as gaming goes. I mean, before everybody was all about consoles. Now everybody plays on their mobile phones or their iPads. So yeah, I think it makes plenty of sense that half of those downloads are on iPads. So yeah, I mean that's awesome.
And then we
mean,
also
to have that catered to them.
Yeah, I mean the 2.0 version is gonna be rebuilt in metal. Now I honestly didn't really know what that was, and so I had to kind of Google it. I think it's basically just a way of sort of making it look as nice and pretty as possible.
Yeah, that was something they mentioned on the conference call with JB too. That it was just fully enhanced with metal, so it should be nice and pretty when it comes out.
Yeah, it's got added multiplayer on the new version, and it's also iPhone compatible, and it's going to be coming this holiday. So, now obviously in the US, your holiday season is pretty much from Thanksgiving onwards, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we start seeing Santa Claus like before Halloween's over, so
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's this whole time.
yeah, I know the commercials are already in full blown Christmas mode. So there's been talk of November release for the iOS version. Like I said the other week, I have got a new iPad, and one of the things I'm really interested in to see how this works on the iPad. And it says iPhone. I'm wondering if it's going to be iPhone 6. I don't know quite how my little iPhone 4S thing is really gonna be able to look. It's gonna be tiny. Just
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just gonna be iPhone 6. To be
yeah.
honest with you.
So that's quite cool. Like I said, I think the app version is a big important thing to Disney, because they basically give it away for free, and then you have to buy extra sort of content afterwards. It's a different way of selling video games, and it ties in directly also with people that are already on the console game are more likely to probably download this. But because it's free, people will are much more likely to pick it up and have a play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a very much different kind of business model for video games, and it's pretty much the whole mobile genre has changed all of this, where it's all sort of free to play, and you basically upgrade when you're in the game, which
Yeah.
kind of ties in with a lot of other things that we've been saying about Disney Infinity. If you take the starter packs and the digital versions, and if you stripped away the price of all the figures and the power discs and the playsets, etc., the game they're pretty much nearly given away for free.
Yeah. No, it's definitely the direction it's going.
So that's the Apple version, and there is a talk that they are going to be doing a Android version. That's in the works. They haven't really announced any details for that. Again, it's one of those things. Android are a huge player. They're missing out on a huge key. Millions of people. There's more people using Android than Apple. So that's they're just getting all their trying to make sure they get Disney out to as many people as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Android's in the works. So.
And also, as a quick note, just on those there, apparently there is, if you're a Disney Visa card holder, you might want to just check your emails, because they have been sending out emails about a free Donald Duck digital download for the PC and iOS version. So it might be if you are worth checking out of that. I just saw that out on a little tweet this morning before work. And also at that conference call, or that conference event for the mobile version, there was talk of 2 exclusive digital characters. Now this kind of sets a whole, this very, very vague,
It
um,
opens up a can of worms.
yeah. So I'm going to start off with me and Travis had a quick sort of discussion about this. And we already know that there's going to be a alternative version of Baymax in like a grey costume that has been confirmed as like a PC digital exclusive. Now, whether or not it's PC exclusive or digital exclusive, that was one figure that kind of jumped straight into the fact that that could fit into it. The other one that is exclusive to digital is the glow in the dark Buzz from the first game. Now, those are the two first figures that you initially think of that they could be digital only.
Hmm.
The other thought I had was, what if they go Tron and go that as the digital option? Because hence why we saw it on the PC version. I hope they don't go that option for Tron, because I think there'll be a lot of people annoyed if they can't get the figures for those characters. Or it could be two entirely new people we don't know anything about.
And you see, my thoughts were exactly what you just said about Tron, except I think they're marketing it as digital exclusive. However, they're not saying that it's a time exclusive. I think it's going to be a time exclusive.
Yeah.
That they're going to release Tron early, and I think they're going to do that not only with the PC, but they're also going to do it with the PlayStation Vita. And I don't know, give it a month, maybe two, if they really want to risk it, and then we're gonna have them for the consoles. It just doesn't. I mean, JV would not say that his favorite other Disney character is a female and that has not been announced, and they wouldn't release it for the consoles.
No,
You know
I
what
mean that's my gut instinct isn't that it's the Tron ones. If you're watching this in a few months' time and I'm completely wrong, we could be in that. But my gut instinct is that it won't be the Tron ones completely. A timed exclusive, I could easily see them do that for something special for the Vita version. That kind of ties in with that idea as well.
with marketing, you can always play with words.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's exactly what they're doing now.
And
That's just my opinion.
And not being funny, but if they came out with the Vita version as a starter pack with the two Tron figures, you just know so many collectors are just gonna buy it anyway to get it in like a month early.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. I think so too.
That's just like, oh yeah, that's a nice little way of getting another starter pack purchased. Not that I've become a bit cynical about starter pack sales, but
yeah, I know. that's another.
That's a whole other
webcast.
thing, yeah. But yeah, so we have got so there are apparently two exclusive digital characters. We don't know what they are. They could be ones already announced. They could be new characters. They could be any number of things.
Oh, it's the Fab Five, by the way.
Oh, don't start on that one. Oh.
Sorry,
yeah,
I had to.
There has been a lot of discussion on YouTube and on other sort of things about the Fab 5 coming to Disney Infinity 2.0. This was in regards to a tweet from JV. Sometimes his tweets sort of get turned and twisted a little bit. And I think this is more of a case of, will they do the Fab 5? If you don't know who the Fab 5 are, you're talking Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto. They're going to do them, but they're not. They're not going to be a digital exclusive. They're just too popular. And as we've already seen they did one for the first game. They did one for the second game. I think there's a pattern that is just.
I mean, yeah. For me, honestly, the logical choice is we most likely will get another one in the next version. Is it most likely to be Goofy? Okay, but honestly, nothing was said in a tweet that had anything to do with it. Honestly, I just call this tabloids, because this is somebody creating a story out of nothing.
Yeah, no. I mean, I agree. I think the chances of us getting either Minnie or Goofy in the next game are very, very high. They are going to do one. They are going to do the classics. They've already proved that Donald and Mickey are extremely popular. But yeah. I don't think they're. We know it's not coming for 2.0. We already. They've already pretty much announced all the figures, pretty much now.
Well, not yet, but almost.
Yeah, nearly. I do think the announcement is maybe coming soon. I did see on a tweet from JV that he thought that something had been leaked, because he's been over here in the UK for a bit
Yeah,
doing
with
some stuff.
was it Ninja Studios or whatever?
Yeah, Ninja
Or
Theory. Well, he was over here a
Ninja Theory. That's
couple
right.
of weeks ago with Studio Gobo, who created the Guardians of the Galaxy playset, and he's been over here as well talking to Ninja Theory because they've been developing the fighting, and I think Jasmine was one of those characters they've been working on. So it's great,
Right.
So he's been over here for that. Okay, on another thing, this was another tweet from JV because this was a really random thing that I thought was so funny. Was apparently in Japan they have these like looks like a wafer chocolate bar with basically there's two different colours by the looks of it. I mean, my Japanese isn't really that good enough to know what that says, I'm afraid. It's basically got pictures of like Captain Jack, Sully on one, and then the other one's got Anna and Elsa. I just thought that was a rather amusing sort of tie-in that they made in for Japan. So you can just wait for all the the sweets and the merchandise to come through. But no, that's
Yeah,
that was quite a
they're
fun little thing.
they're infinitely delicious.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Yes.
Honestly.
There's also been a little bit of confusion this week about some Big Hero 6 power discs. There's been sort of images running around of these two power discs, and there was even mention on the actual Toy Box TV this week about these discs. Now, one side of things looks like that they, could they end up bringing these out? Possibly. But if you've actually already, you can actually already get the Sky Dome on Disney Infinity 2.0. If you hook up like a trigger to the Sky Changer, you can select the San Francisco Sky Dome, and you can also, I think you can purchase the terrain in the San Francisco sort of zone of the toy store, and you can change all your like textures and stuff to be in from the movie. So they've actually ended up chucking it into the game anyway. So it does look like the power discs might have been an idea, but they eventually sort of took them out and put them into the game anyway. But they are all already in the game, so there's no need to panic or anything about them.
Yeah, I don't think these discs will ever come out. I mean, they're already in the game. You can buy them with Sparks, and honestly, my opinion is that these bits and pieces that they play at Toy Box TV are sometimes pre-recorded ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they just get thrown in ahead of schedule. I'm sorry, they get recorded ahead of schedule and they get thrown into that week's topic. And
But also,
I just think that's what it was.
Yeah, but also I think as well it's quite easy for if they were working on something and they had them, because I know there's a power disc, for example, that the execs have, and I've seen it in use myself, where they put down and it maxes everybody out. That it exists. They use it, but it doesn't mean it's not coming out for us to be able to buy. So it's very easy sometimes for a little slip of the tongue or something. So that's what I think.
Yeah, that's true. That could have been as well.
Okay, we also have Black Friday is the big US sale next week. All the big retailers are getting out all of their information to try and entice you in to buy their new products. So it's just a few random ones that I've sort of seen. Toys R Us are offering free power disc packs for $10. Doesn't specifically say which ones. They got a picture of the Marvel one, so that's quite a good bargain. Toys R Us starter packs from $40. They've got buy one get one free. Buy one get 70% off. A doorbuster buy one get 40% off, and they're also at the moment they're offering free figures for $33, which is a pretty good bargain regardless. You can go get that pretty much right now. Walmart have figures from $9 on the day, starter pack $37. Best Buy are free figures for $33 and a starter pack for $40. So if you are, prices can change. Things will, obviously go a bit mad before that. But if you have you been thinking about getting into Disney Infinity? The next week is perfect opportunity to get in and get some bargains before they all go up after. Things usually go up again after Black Friday, don't they, over there?
Actually, it goes sort of. It goes through the weekend. I mean, over the course of time, new little sales days get created. So right after Black Friday, the whole weekend becomes this whole sale online, and then they have Cyber Monday. So it'll go for a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, if like you were saying, if you want to get into it, give it a shot. This is a lot cheaper. Go ahead and go in and pick the pack.
40 bucks around that for the starter packs.
Yeah.
Doesn't specifically say Disney or Star or the Marvel one. I'd recommend if I had the choice of the two and you put them both
Marvel.
in front of you, I'd go Marvel because you get the
Yeah.
Avengers play set and you get an extra figure, um,
Absolutely.
and you can then pick the other bits up later. But free figures for $33 or $9 at Walmart. Great price to get in on. Great one to pick up a few stocking fillers for Christmas, or just round up a few of the characters if you haven't already got them. Yeah, no, they're really good offers. I wish we had things like that in the UK, but then I can see why so many people in the US, when these games come out, they just go, right, I'm waiting until Black Friday to buy stuff because some of these prices are, ludicrously cheap.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But
Did the UK get anything to do with the free power? I'm sorry, the free toy box discs at all?
no, we didn't get anything. I had a look, and the PlayStation 4 download was about $25. No, £25, which works out about $40 for the
40
digital.
bucks, yeah.
Yeah, with no toy box disc. So,
Hmm.
if you're in the UK and you're thinking about going digital, personally go out, price up the difference, because if it's £25 for the digital version, you're not getting any discs. So by the time you go out and buy the two discs and then go and buy the two figures, you'd be better off just it might be better off you just going the starter pack route instead. But again, we don't tend to have a huge amount of big sales before Christmas over here. They'll do little bits on things that on the odd sale, but we don't have anything crazy like Black Friday. But no, so that's
I agree. It's crazy.
yeah. So obviously, so that'll be so if we got any more information, you can check us out on our Facebook group. Tend to be people are posting up the ads, etc. on there. Okay, so that is pretty much a run through of all of this week's news. I'm just going to quickly just bring up this week's toy boxes. Okay, so this week's theme for the toy boxes were Hulk Smash. So they're all based around Hulk, basically. We had Hulk Smash City from Emrim, World War Hulk by Infinity Brothers. We had Hulk Brawlers by Sudo 156, Hulk's Happy Place by Infinity Fan 1927, and Hulk's Multiplayer Rampage Challenge by Shadow HV. Personally got to play a couple of these. World War Hulk was great. Hulk's Happy Place was that was a good sort of 10 minutes. That was worth checking out. And Smash City, there again, all really good toy boxes. I didn't play the multiplayer ones because I was on my own, so sorry. But yeah, just sort of really good toy boxes. A couple of them are up on the YouTube channel this week of me playing through them. Did you get a chance to play any of those ones?
I think I played one of them. I just don't remember which one it was. It had to do. No, I don't remember. I think it was the Happy Pace one because it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
A lot of colorful.
Yeah, completely kind of different than anything you're expecting. And World War Hulk had a really good big ending where you kind of were using a cannon to shoot at balls, which basically had a big block art of Hulk that kept changing. So that was really, really interesting. A good different way of doing a box ending.
Yeah, using a replayer. That's
yeah.
cool.
We also had 5 extra toy boxes from the Be Our Hero theme, which was part of the Extra Life Challenge. We had Be a Hero, King of the Tuners, Radiator Springs by Model Train Man, Be a Hero, Blood Drive by Pirate Steven, Save Gravity Falls, which was created by both Flynn Warrior and Mighty Gitis. They did that sort of online co-op. And then you had Disney World Invades New York by me. Yeah, that...
Me, is that a Japanese?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Roger, congrats.
Yeah,
Man,
so
awesome.
I was extremely surprised to see my toy box actually featured as top 5. That's the first time I've had mine, or I ever sort of had a toy box go up. I'm extremely, really, really pleased that one went up, and a big thank you to everyone who's got in touch with me, sort of thanking me and sort of congratulating me. I was really sort of chuffed that one got in. It's one of those sorts of things of seeing everyone's sort of toy boxes for over a year now. To finally actually have one sort of up in the developer section is really quite a big honor, and I was really chuffed that one got in. But sort of now it's like, right, okay, now I've got to knuckle down and do more toy boxes and sort of get try and get in.
Yeah, now you got to one up yourself.
Yeah, now I've got to now it's like, yeah. But yeah, no, it's really good. Those toy boxes have been up for a couple of weeks now. That Save Gravity Falls one by Mighty Jitis and Flynn Warrior is really cool. Really enjoyed that one. Can't particularly remember the other one. I think they played them a few weeks ago. But yeah, lots of toy boxes this week, and also the Bimax Challenge by the Toy Box artists or Toy Box community team was up, and that was a bit of fun, nice and simple. Just race through and sometimes not being funny, but I think sometimes it's doing sort of simple toy boxes. They're not always necessarily a bad thing. Keep things simple and sort of people can enjoy it and get in and get out.
Yeah, you want to make them user friendly too, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, so there we go. So that was the top toy boxes. Like I said, there was over 11 toy boxes this week, so plenty to choose from. And as I say, they're all for free. Everyone can just go in and download them. So it's one of the major features of Disney Infinity 2.0 are the free toy boxes. So that's basically the main chunk of the game now. Okay, so we are now going to talk about our main discussion point of the week, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy playset. Now this got launched back at the launch, really. It comes with the two figures, so you've got Star-Lord and Gamora and the playset piece. And then you have 3 additional characters, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, and also later next year we've got Ronan and Yondu coming in for those playsets as well. So Abe, let's throw it open straight away to you. What are your thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy playset?
I enjoyed it. It was a little bit more. Well, it was a little open up. I just felt it felt small to me. It felt really fast. I mean, I did enjoy it when I first demoed it at San Diego Comic-Con. I thought it would have been my favorite. I did save it for the very end, but it just kind of left me wanting a little bit more. I do understand why it kind of was left that way because, obviously they didn't know how the movie was going to turn out, and they didn't really know the whole story. They were just given certain tidbits, kind of like the whole thing with the Frozen and not going through with that last time. But anyways, either way, I still enjoyed it. It was fun. Definitely had some interesting, different aspects than the other two, so it kind of made it unique in a sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's definitely worth a play. It's fun. I mean, the movie was amazing. It was great. So it's just to play these characters. It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think after the huge success of the Guardians Galaxy movie, I think everyone wants to have the video game to go with it. They didn't really like you touched on there. They were in post production before it even came out. So it's not based on the movie. It's very, very loosely tied in. But that's not really a major problem for me. I think the best thing really is, what I loved about it is that it's completely different from the Spider-Man and the Avengers playset because it's set on sort of nowhere, which some people have called the basically the industrial estate in space. It is completely different, and it feels very. That was the best thing about it, was that it felt completely different to all the other.
Yeah, it was unique, definitely.
Different ones. It is very. It's that kind of thing of. I must admit, when I went through it the first time, I was really surprised at how quickly I'd gone through the main story, and they didn't. I thought the big finish with Ronan at the end. I was kind of expecting, maybe to. I thought, okay, they were fighting him now, and then that was it. It was all over with, kind of thing, and it left me wanting a lot more. I still would recommend everyone that's got Disney Infinity to go and buy this playset because it is, I still think, one of the strongest of the three. It's a lot of fun. I think Star-Lord is a fantastic character to use in general. He's one of my sort of picks that I use quite a lot, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, Gamora is not a character I've hardly used. And Drax is another figure that I don't think I've barely used him. But Groot, Rocket Raccoon, really a lot of fun. I mean, they are huge popular characters now. Groot is big sort of clumbering guy, and he just smashes stuff and things fly at the ground, and he is just a lot of fun to play. Rocket Raccoon is really funny. He reminds me of Trigger Happy from Skylanders. He's there with his dual welding gun, just shooting everything, and that's kind of, that's what I thought of straight away. I don't think they're as varied as maybe the ones from the Avengers or Spider-Man. And once I got Iron Man and Nova into the playset, I'm a flyer. I like flying in with the characters, and once I had those two characters, I opened up with the tokens. They were the guys I was using because it was the best way of getting around that getting around the building. Is just to find all the boxes and get around.
I think that's actually one of the reasons why it also was good, though, is the fact that none of the characters were flyers, so you actually had to really make use of the terrain and what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And one thing that I did enjoy, and it's something that you see with Studio Gobo's Pirates of the Caribbean in 1.0, is that the pieces that they use, that you can obviously use in the toy box, that make you scale walls or ride rails or hold on to them and jumping on the sides of cliffs or whatever.
Yeah.
They just really they really make use of that stuff, so it kind of made it feel a little unique in the sense. That was kind of cool.
I mean, really, again, they did it last year with Pirates of the Caribbean. This year, I think they did it again with Guardians. Studio Gobo really did sort of, produce one of the best sort of play sets, and maybe that was the thing, because they could just concentrate purely on creating a good play set. That's what worked really well, and it is a really good play set. There is a few bits, like I said, is it a full? You're not getting a big 30-40 hour video game. You are only getting 5 to 10 hours of entertainment. But that is if you just literally charge through the main story and complete it, and you don't go back in for anything else. You are going to complete it very quickly, and you might feel a bit sort of left out. But if you go back in, do all the challenges, all the races, you go and find all those little boxes, you complete the extra missions with Nova and Iron Man. You can. I think I've clocked up 20-25 hours in that playset already, and I still have got a lot of boxes and challenges to master and get. That's what you've got to. It's not just about going in and finishing that story as fast as you can.
That's right.
Because I've read quite a few people sort of saying, well, once I finish the story, I don't carry on with the game anymore. And I'll admit, I'm like that with a lot of if I'm playing through the Assassin's Creed or Grand Theft Auto, once I sort of finish the storyline, I tend to not go back into it. But there is, with Infinity, there is still a lot of challenges to go through to do extra, so it's not all just about that main storyline.
That's right.
I think in terms of the characters, we've, like I said before, we've still got Yondu and Ronan to come in, and we can. So that again, when I get those two figures, I'll probably go through the play sets with both characters on their own, just to kind of, a good way of leveling them up and just getting used to the characters, and just, going back in and enjoying that play set, probably for a third time by the time those figures come out. Just so, that's something else that I'm looking forward to.
So, what did you not like about this place?
What I didn't. One of the things I was a little bit disappointed with was, I didn't like that whole thing where you were just protecting that sort of Yondu in the dome, and he was driving along in the car, and you basically had to just protect him. It seemed like that mission. There was like 3-4 missions in a run, just straight after each other, just to try and get him. To eventually, you then got sent over to the Dark Oster for the big sort of finish kind of thing. So that was. I remember one thing going. Well, it was like, well, is that all we're getting from Yondu kind of thing, really? But that was one thing I was slightly kind of, that sort of stuck out to me as not being sort of the best thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things of, if you ranked up all 9 of the play sets for Disney Infinity that we've had so far, it would be in the middle ground. Maybe I think some of the first play sets were a lot stronger, but I'd say that against pretty much all 3 of them from Disney Infinity 2.0.
Mm-hmm. For me, kind of wish we had a little bit more of Ronan. I think it was just like a pretty quick interaction with him, and
Yeah.
we easily finished him off. And only one thing that did stick out to me, even though it's not really a big deal, but I just thought it was kind of odd, playing this as my third playset. The first two playset didn't have these giant tokens that unlocked vehicles, and this one did, so it kind of felt weird, out of place. I don't know if you noticed that the giant G's that you would like
Yeah.
they were purple. So I know it's not a big deal, but
I never
it
even
just,
noticed, to be honest.
yeah, it felt kind of weird to me because all the other two playsets didn't have anything like that.
But I
So,
think that again probably ties into the fact that they maybe did their own little thing and created some
exactly.
things.
Exactly.
Because
So
Pirates, I think, had a few things that weren't in the other playsets, so
right.
it doesn't particularly bother me too much on that.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It wasn't a big deal, but I just thought it stuck out. So
I think it's what gets me is like you run. It's kind of got that Monsters University feel for me, where you had to kind of you go into one area, and then you've got to sort of work your way back, go through another box, go through another one to go back to like the mining area. It's kind of it kind of had that thing like with Monsters University where you had to go through the tunnel, wait for it to close off one before it let you open up the other.
oh yeah, to load, yeah.
Yeah, I think because in like the Avengers and the Spider-Man one, because they do that when you go underground to do into a different level, it felt more sort of intuitive.
It felt normal. Yeah.
You didn't really notice it because you were just like, well, you were going underground, so therefore it loaded up, and that was fine. Because the open space was so open, you didn't feel restricted. But I think that was the one thing I noticed with the Guardians was you sort of felt like, you know, I'm following that like marker, and you would follow it, and it would say like you're 86, but it would be behind a wall, which you then meant you had to go back all the way through one of the other zones, and the pointer wasn't really, I don't know quite what it was. It's sometimes I'd be going, well, I'm only 20, 30 away from where I need to be, but there's no way I can actually, and then you then go, oh, I've got to go all the way back round the long way around to get to it. So that was the one one little thing that bugged me when I'm trying to sort of find a mission, and I'm going, well, I'm, you know, because you just follow the arrow sort of completely aimlessly and just follow it regardlessly, don't you? That's how I play.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that's, you know, these are real kind of sort of nitpicky kind of things.
Yeah, very nitpicky. It wasn't, again, not a big deal.
No, I mean, this is the thing. I think, you know, like I said, for me, it's a fantastic opportunity to get into the Guardians of the Galaxy. For the price you're paying for this playset, you are getting Star-Lord and Gamora, and you're getting the playset, and you're getting also all these toys that you can unlock for the toy box. So value for money is, like I said, if you put the value on that playset at about $5, that's when you realise how good of value it is, and how good it is for that money. You know, you're not paying £30 for a playset which you know, doesn't have any value. You know, for me, I brought that playset. It was cheaper than buying the two figures on their own, and I got that playset that I could really enjoy for, you know, like I said, a good 20 plus hours I've played already in it. And, you know, I think, you know, for value for money wise, it is really cool. Like I said, Gamora isn't one of those figures that I'm going to be using very much. What do you think of the characters as a whole as you're playing them?
See, when I play differently than you do. I try to rotate them as much as I can, just so I can experience them. I mean, I enjoy Drax. I do like his special ability. I do like the fact that he jumps and he has this like spin attack sort of. It's kind of cool. Gamora seems kind of weak in the beginning, but when you level her up a bit, she's pretty strong. So I did enjoy her. She's definitely a quick little melee character. But as far as popular figures for me to use, is just like you, the Star-Lord, Groot, and Rocket. I mean, Rocket was definitely my favorite among all of them. But I'm kind of biased because I do like Rocket anyways. But
Yeah.
But Groot, it was also fun to play with. He's just his attack, even though he looks like he's slow and
Yeah.
you know, just melee, he technically has a ranged attack, which is kind of cool. But no, I don't know. They're great figures. I enjoyed them overall. I mean, I think they were a nice little collection of figures.
Yeah.
And I like to see what Yondu and Ronan will have to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Rocket apparently was the most pre-ordered figure of all time, which doesn't surprise me. I've been out in the stores quite a few times and seen people carrying around the Rocket figure. You know, he's a popular character. For me, it's like Star-Lord really sort of stood out. At the beginning when I started using him, before I leveled him up. He wasn't great. Once I started leveling up, and he had the super jump with his sort of rocket boosters, and his guns and his dual guns, and then he could throw down different. Started to enjoy him. Like I said, and Rocket again just stood out as being a great character. I love the fact that we could get Nova and Iron Man into the playsets. That offers additional content. They have their own stories, and also you can fly around with them, and there's quite a lot of stuff hidden away in the top rafters that only they can get to. And again, like you said, by not having a flying character in the playset, until you unlock them, you are very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the race challenges in there that you've got. So you've got to collect the orbs, or you've got to fly around. Takes a little bit to get used to the control mechanism on some of the flyers, but
and they were pretty challenging too.
It's pretty good. And also just trying to get trying to get gold on some of them there is really it's quite tricky. You can't always I like the big shooting ones where you're having to shoot and blast. That was again different than you saw in the other play sets.
Right.
So it just felt a very solid, strong playset, and I think that was
absolutely
what keeps coming out. And I think because it stands out differently, that it's not set in New York. I think that's that thing. Maybe I think everyone's expectations were so high for Guardians because of how great the movie was. I don't know if anything was ever going to be able to match up to that expectations.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. For diehard Disney Infinity fans, they were kind of expecting something like the Lone Ranger, where the movie didn't do so well, but the playset was amazing.
Yeah.
But no, this playset was really good, regardless of it matching the movie or not.
No, I mean, yeah, I'd agree. I definitely agree and say that it's a fantastic playset to go in and use. It's one of those things of, I think, if you're coming from the Disney side and you haven't got any play sets or anything like that, if you just enjoy Disney Infinity, it's worth just having a look, especially with these sales coming up. Not that I've seen any of those, doesn't seem to be a lot of offers on play sets. I have noticed, but yeah, definitely keep an eye out. Ooh.
Sorry. Yeah, it's late out here.
It's late. Yeah, it's late Sunday night for you. It's early Monday morning for me here. It's that thing as well, I think, of maybe once the sales kick in, and if you haven't already dabbled in them, pick them up. They are a lot of fun, even if you're not a huge Guardians. Once you see the movie when they come out on Blu-ray this month, you're gonna love it. And I think, like you said, there's a nice wide range of characters.
Yeah, it's just great, and I mean, tapping into what you were saying too about the flyers, because you're grounded. I think that also helps the fact that everything's so clustered together. You don't need it to be wide and open like it is in the Spider-Man or Avengers playset.
But also, you can use the racing vehicles and stuff to get around more. So it actually. It's intuitive to the fact if you want to get around quickly, you want to jump on a vehicle, which I found in Spider-Man and Avengers. It's like, well, do I use Iron Fist and grab a car and drive from one thing, and then I've got to somehow make it to the top of that skyscraper? No, I just slapped Spidey on and flew up it.
Just swing right up there and wall crawl, whatever.
Yeah, so whereas when you're playing through the main story, because I think once I got to about the Ronin battle, I started using Iron Man and stuff a bit more, mainly because Iron Man rules. He's still one of my favorite figures. Cool. He is, and having him, you could just go, okay, I've played it through. I'm just going to play it through with, sort of Iron Man, and you could still have a blast of it. So I think it's great that they have this crossover bit, and obviously then Rocket can go into the Avengers playset as well, so you get additional value from that character. So Rocket can go into 2 playsets. So that again offers so he's a good value for in terms of that. But yeah, I think in general, I was really pleased with the playset, and it's going to be one that I'd sort of jump in and out a lot of. I think just playing the different challenges, it was,
Oh yeah, same here. I got plenty to do still. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know there was a lot of us that sort of when we got the game first off, we pretty much sort of ploughed through the playsets as quickly as we could. You know, there were a lot of people trying to unlock as many toys as they could so they can get building toy boxes, and people just wanting to feast on the game and just have as much as they possibly could. And I think that is one of those things of, like with any game, sometimes it's best just to sort of take a step back and replay it through at your own leisure after it's all sort of died down. You know, now we've got especially when those new characters, those last two characters come out, it'll be a good opportunity for people to go back in and play it maybe a bit more leisurely and not quite be in such a rush.
You know, it's funny you say that because I honestly feel like the replay value on these three playsets are just awesome compared to 1.0. For some reason, I feel it easier to replay these than the others for some reason.
And also, I love the fact that, because you've got the sort of the leaderboards, so you can now see, for example, if you have done well, your name now pops up on the leaderboard challenge. So that offers revalue if you're trying to keep your top score or trying to get on the board, and also just trying to get sort of gold, silver, or bronze. On those. I'm tending at the minute. If I just get bronze, I'm happy and I move on to the next one. But I could sit there and sort of do more and more.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I think pretty much. I think I think with the Guardians, I think it's one of those things of it's a lot of fun, a lot of great stuff there to have, and I definitely recommend sort of picking it up. Like I said, there's a few sort of slight niggles, but nothing really that's too much. And like I say, you can use those characters then in the toy box, and you'll be able to use those characters in future games, so you continue to get sort of value out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I think that pretty much sort of rounds up the sort of the Guardians of the Galaxy thoughts. Really, I mean, we've been planning to do a quick discussion on this for a few weeks, but there's been so much
Keep
news.
Pushing it by.
We just kept going. Oh well, we'll do it next week because we've got lots of news and stuff. So yeah, it was a reason why it came out at launch, and I just think it was, I think there's that thing of they didn't have enough production time between 1.0 and 2.0 coming out to really get in and do the full amount that they wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that pretty much rounds up this week's episode. Again, just want to thank Abe for joining me, and I just would like to remind everyone to, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're listening to the audio versions, for example through iTunes, remember to hit the subscription button there as well. We've got quite a lot of listeners now listening to us on the audio version. And remember, you can check us out on our Infinity and Beyond Facebook group. We've got over 2,000 members there, all like discussing Disney Infinity news. And also, there's a lot more trading and selling going on now with the power discs. That's sort of really now all 80 of them are out. There's a lot of things. Everyone's trying to find those terrains and sky domes. It's one of those funny things. I think I think it's one of those things that everyone's really noticing is how sort of different those sort of power discs are to get now.
Yeah, it's kind of odd for some reason, but again, it kind of makes sense since they release, in waves of 40 this time around. They are definitely harder to find. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding, but even just getting harder to find in terms of people trading them and selling them. But even just on like eBay, I mean, I've been seeing the terrains and skydomes are going often for more than the rares.
Wow.
I think on the Marvel side I didn't do so bad. Even though I need Spider Streets and view from the suit, I think, to finish off the Marvel ones. The Disney ones, I really lucked out. I hardly got any. And it was that thing of as well of I don't like keep going out and buying blind packs after a certain amount. I don't like to. I feel like I buy a bulk, I get what I get, and then I will buy, trade, sell for the rest. I can't just keep buying blind packs randomly in the hope I get something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. But one quick thing I wanted to add to, if anyone's got any questions about Disney Infinity, be sure to comment on any of our videos or on Twitter, because I'm just trying to do a few like question and answers of at least once a week, where I'm just trying to go through and just answer some well-known questions and stuff, and see it, because that seems to be a lot. We get a lot of questions through different social medias and stuff. But then
Yeah. Yeah, if we get a lot of questions, we will probably even do a Q&A.
Yeah, we can even do
webcast.
a Q&A webcast in a couple of weeks' time. The next couple of weeks, what the main plan for us to do is we're gonna look at the Toy Box game disc. So I think, shall we do Marvel or Disney next week?
I say because the Disney one recently came out, and obviously people still need to play through them. I say we just do Marvel first.
Okay, so we're gonna do the Marvel next week. We'll do the Disney ones the week after, and then we're gonna look deeper into the power discs, one for the Marvel and one for the Disney. So that's the next 4 episodes there, right there. So we're trying to make the most of this, what we've got of all the new content this year. But yeah, that will set us up quite nicely on the run up to Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next week we'll be discussing the Toy Box game disc for Marvel. That means I've now got to get my little head on and now try and do as much of that as possible, because I've been doing. For some reason I haven't completed either of them, because I've just been so busy doing stuff for the site and stuff. But I did complete the Stitch Tropical Rescue one last week, so now I kind of want to go through and do the Asgard one.
Yeah.
And get that one. But yeah, so that's cool. So we're going to discuss that next week. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out VanimationKingdom.com, and we shall see you next week.